Let's talk about the Maruti Suzuki Invicto. Now, this is not a new car, but the reason for doing this video will be obvious in a short bit, so bear with me. But before that though, when Maruti did launch this car a few months ago, all you guys really dug deep down in all those dark crevices you have and made this one of the biggest memes of the year because of all of this, of course. In fact, I think if looking like a wow was manifested into an automotive form, this would be it, one of the biggest memes of the year. It is still Maruti's flagship offering. It's the most expensive Maruti Suzuki ever sold, maybe the most premium as well. And that means a lot of you guys have a lot of questions, and a lot of those questions need a lot of those answers, and all of those questions will be answered in this PD FAQ, frequently asked questions format. I mean, did somebody from Mahindra recently move to Maruti Suzuki? Guys, do you know anybody who went from Mahindra to Maruti? No? We've had cars with PO endings in the past. Alto, still around. Vento, Punto, stuff like that. Santro, well, RO. But this Invicto, this really sounds like something Mahindra would have done, isn't it? Invicto. Well, technically it is a Maruti Suzuki, it's not a Mahindra. It is an Innova badged as a Maruti Suzuki, but your RC card will say Maruti Suzuki and your friends will all know that you bought a Maruti Suzuki. So it is a Maruti Suzuki. Scientific deductions, my friend.
It is exactly what you think it is, the latest of the long line of Maruti and Toyota badge engineered cars. Some have been distinctly individual. Some, like this, look like their sister car, which of course in this case is the Innova High Cross.
Yes, you do get 7 seats, and that's of course the one to buy, because captain seats, big thumbs up for me. But you do get a black interior and the lovely rose gold bezel on the dashboard as compared to the brown interior and the silver bezel, and there's enough space for even me, big fat me, in the back seat, although I personally hate being in the third row. You don't get the Ottoman seat option. That's the really cool part of the Innova that's missing in the Invicto, and those seats are a huge reason to get the Innova over the Invicto. But of course, this is a cheaper product. Of course, you get the AC vents on the roof for the third row as well. But overall, again, spacious, and you get individual headrests for every single seat, and of course, retractable seat belts as well, standard. It has 6 airbags, it has seatbelt reminders on every single seat, which of course is now mandatory, but it does not get ADAS. And that's a big miss. You know that phrase, in search of the diamond we lost gold? That's what that is. I mean, they should have had ADAS in this car. It is a flagship product. In fact, if you realize, no Maruti Suzuki product has ever had ADAS. The addition of that in this would have made this a much more competent product. So, to answer your question, is it safe? Yeah, of course. Could it have been safer? 100%.
Nope, it doesn't. Maruti have dropped the diesel engine a while ago, and there is no way in hell that is ever coming back. This only gets the petrol hybrid powertrain and not the standard petrol one, and that makes about 186 horsepower. And it is as smooth as silk, or as Mr. Clarkson would say, as smooth as a baby's bottom. I always found that one really funny for some reason. Also, of course, it is an automatic, obviously.
Now, the exact distance between my house in Mumbai and my absolute favorite place to eat in Goa, which of course I'm not going to give out, is exactly 520 kilometers. Now, this gets an ARAI figure, fuel economy figure, of 23.24 kilometers per litre, and it has a petrol fuel tank capacity of 52 litres, which means you can get a range, theoretically, of just over, a smidge over, 1200 kilometers. This being a hybrid, I know for a fact that if you drive this sensibly and you don't drive it like me, or you don't drive it like a complete lunatic, you get 1200 kilometers or more than 1200 kilometers from a single tank of fuel. So that means you can drive from Mumbai to Goa on a single tank of fuel. You can actually roam around Goa like a complete Susagad and have some great food and drive back to Mumbai on a single tank of fuel. Hybrids, I love them. I genuinely love them. Well, yes, you can, but then don't get upset when people like me take a photograph of people like you doing stuff like this in a car which is moving and call you out on the internet. Well, that's out of the way. This panoramic roof is huge. I mean, I can't reach the end of it even if I stretch out. Even though there is a massive panoramic glass pane on the roof of this, the roof-mounted AC vents are still in. Of course, Innova has them too, and this has them. And if you've ever been in the back of an Innova or in the back of an Invicto, because this, you'll know that roof-mounted AC vents are some of the greatest things in the world. Little exaggerated, yes, but you know what I mean, right?
Very. It does 0 to 100 in just about 10 seconds, which for a car of this size is sort of impressive. But if you do push it hard, remember, you aren't getting that 1200 kilometer range.
That final question is the big one, is the all-important one. Now look, apples to apples, this as an equivalent Innova variant is cheaper, slightly. But then of course it does lose out on features. Now, if you're okay with that, and if you're okay with this, one thing's for certain, the Suzuki and Toyota partnership, that's here to stay, right? It's not going anywhere. Could they have done a lot more with the Invicto as compared to what they did, say for example, differentiating the High Rider and the Grand Vitara? Of course they should have. Could Toyota just use these production figures to ramp up production of the Innova and make everybody's life a lot easier? In that case, this wouldn't exist. Does that make any sense at all? I mean, at the end of the day, if you're okay with a Suzuki, and if you're okay with not having ADAS, and you're okay with not having the 18-inch wheels, and you're okay with not having the better sound system, and you're okay with not having the fancier seats, then this car makes sense. Well, actually it does make a lot more sense considering the fact that Innova has like an absurd 1.5 or 2 year waiting period, and this has a bit less. So if you want your car now, don't get an Innova, get an Invicto. At the end of the day, it's up to you guys to decide. My opinion, as a standalone product, as a car by itself, this thing is still bloody great.